everyone, how are you? This is me being makeup free. Welcome to the Mastering the Mommy Makeover. I originally came up with this series. It's going to end up being a three-part series for you because I was realizing that not everybody went to school to be a makeup artist. I was originally a makeup artist 21 years ago when I was bitten in the face by a dog, and so I have this knowledge of how can I put on makeup very quickly in certain steps and still be able to take care of now almost 8-month-old. Yay! Anyway, okay, so Mastering the Mommy Makeover. This will be the first part of what we'll be talking about is what I feel the most important steps of having the ideal makeup. As you can see, I'm completely makeup free, and so we'll kind of be doing this in steps, and I'll show you different tricks and that sort of thing. If you're not a mommy and you just want to know the basics of how to properly apply makeup and what's going on with this trend. So, okay, so the first thing that I really want to talk to you about, and probably my biggest secret in all makeup and applying makeup, is going to be your foundation. Now, that does not mean foundation in the way that you think it's going to be foundation. I'm talking about foundation in the sense that without this first step, it doesn't matter what you apply, how you apply, not only is it not going to last, but it's going to look cakey and it's just not going to look good. And it's really the base. So it doesn't matter if you have oily skin, dry skin, dehydrated skin, acne skin. Your first step, no matter what you do, if this is the only thing that you can do, you are going to apply some sort of moisturizer. So I use a particular brand. The reason why I'm not showing you what brand it is simply because everything is different for everybody. So some people might use coconut oil, and if that works for you, that is perfectly okay. Some people want to use a specific brand. I will tell you, there's a lot of conflict of some moisturizers that are $300 are better than something that's $2. That is not necessarily the case. You have to look at yourself. Part of the wellness program that I teach, the Beautiful Revolution, I talk about really thinking for yourself and being intuitive. So if you're applying something to your skin and it feels gross or you don't think it works, guess what? It feels gross and it doesn't work. Keep trying different types of moisturizers until you get the one. Sometimes people can use a moisturizer for a year or two, and then for some reason they acquire an allergy or it just doesn't work for them anymore, and that's perfectly okay. Your biggest thing for the moisturizer, for it working or not working, is going to be, one, your hormones in your body, but two, it's going to be what you're eating. So all of a sudden, if your diet changes and you notice your skin changing, guess what? Your skin is the largest organ of your body. So things are going to change for your moisturizer depending on what's your diet been like, what has your exercise been like, what are your hormones like, that sort of thing. So again, just kind of playing around. Nothing's concrete. You can use anything. So the biggest thing, and you can't see me right now because I have the video camera up a little bit, is please don't take your finger in a container. You can see there we go. In a container like this. Don't just put your finger in it and then apply it to your skin. The reason for that is because bacteria and mold from your fingers will actually get into the container and contaminate it. So you're more likely to get things like contact dermatitis, acne, all kinds of different things. And it's only because you're sticking your fingers in. So just use like a little spatula of some sort, put it on your finger, just then apply it to your hand. So, I'm sorry, I'm not very good with this camera thing. Apply it to your hand, and then just start applying it to your skin. Some people use a special eye cream. Do that too. The only thing with using an eye cream, especially for somebody that's in a rush or the mommy makeover, is makeup within a few hours will start to run, like your mascara, your eyeliner, or whatever, and that's because the oils will make things run. So I like to use eye cream at night. so not during the day. So just another little tip. So I like to do the parts that I know that are dry. So if you notice, for me, I'm not big at doing the nose because I'm kind of oily. So I'm actually going to just rub it into the cheeks, and I'm going to rub it the forehead because that tends to get dry. And then the residue, I'm just going to fluff in. So just fluffing in. Some people are like, oh, you need to move it up. You know, they have this whole routine. I don't know about you, but as a mom, I have no friggin' time to worry about what direction I'm smoothing something in. And you know what? The grand scheme of things, it's really not that big of a deal. So just kind of put it in however. And then I like to take a little extra moisturizer and put it on my neck because I'm going to be 40 in December. So I want to make sure that I'm all made up. So, alright. Okay, so that's it for moisturizer. So that is probably going to be your biggest step in the mommy makeover. In mastering that is applying some sort of moisturizer. If you have no time to do anything else, that's going to always be your first step. The biggest thing about foundations, a lot of people will just apply foundations, and I'm going to give you certain scenarios of sometimes my makeover, sometimes when I can apply makeup, sometimes I can do foundation. It's usually the last step for me. I know, that sounds weird to everybody, but we're talking about being efficient, being quick, and hurrying up and getting out the door. So people, when it comes to foundations, are extremely like, oh, you should be using bare minerals, oh, you should be using powder versus cream versus what. Well, I will tell you, everybody can make an argument towards whatever they want. The best way to apply foundation is going to be airbrushing. And who has an airbrush machine? I know not me. I do not have an airbrush machine. So, you know what? That's the best. None of us have it. Nor would we really want to apply it every single day. That would be for a special occasion. So when it's coming to foundations, there's your cream. A cream foundation is designed to be, because now it's all mostly water soluble, is for people with dry skin or acne skin, believe it or not, because they're using a lot of drying agents. A cream is really good for dehydrated skin. So those are your 3 skin types that would want a liquid foundation. People that would want a dry foundation, so your powders with the tints in it, is going to be people with really oily skin or exceptionally oily through here. I've been known as a makeup artist, working for photographers, that I've only put a nice cream foundation through here, and then a powder foundation through here because they're really oily, and then just a cream because they're fairly dry through here, put just a cream through like their cheeks in certain areas. So for you, it's not a big deal. You know your skin better than anybody else that could ever tell you. You know if you need cream versus a dry, like a powder. Some people do combine them. I don't recommend that. Most people, if you start applying layers, it gets very, very cakey, very, very fast, and will actually only look good for like half an hour. Have you ever like got yourself all dolled up, gone out to dinner, and then went to the bathroom and you're like, what just happened to me? What's wrong? And then you try to apply powder over it, it just gets really cakey. That's why. Because layer after layers, you don't need that. Unless you're going to be on TV or in the movies or anything like that, there's no need to do any of that. And in fact, in my opinion, when you go out into public, whether it's to work or to evening or what have you, the more natural you go, the better I think it looks. We don't need TV makeup, which is when a lot of times when you see stuff in magazines and movies and books and all that, they're really great experts at doing those types of makeup applications. When in everyday makeup application, I don't see a lot of people actually teaching the everyday look. So that's just from my personal opinion. So anyway, so you have dry versus cream. Then you've got the kind that's kind of combined, the kind of the cream, but it's kind of dry. Again, those are really good for that everyday. So that's probably my favorite out of all of them. When you see like it's a cream makeup, but you say, oh, it goes on like a powder. That's probably my favorite because it's both hydrating and it's kind of got that finish to it. So the next question that people usually ask me, I'm sorry, I'm just going to adjust to my chair real quick. Okay, the next thing that people usually ask me is how do I even know what colors to even wear? There's so many different colors out there. That is probably my favorite question, because people go out and they buy all this makeup and they're like, I don't even use it because I look horrible, which is true. So the scenario that you kind of want to give yourself is 2 to 1. So no matter who you are, if you look at my eyes are really, really dark, and they're brown. So when you think of brown, you think of warmth, right? You think of the sun, kind of that brownish kind of fall. This is perfect time of year, fall, kind of that fall eye color. My hair is also brown, so again, that warm fall. And if you notice, my skin color is very cool, kind of very whitish, right? So the scenario is 2 to 1. So my eyes are dark, my eyes are more a brown, warm color, my hair is a warm color, and my skin's a cool color. So I need to be heading towards warm colors that are within the hue of my eye color. Does that kind of make sense? So let's say somebody has beautiful black hair and blue eyes and warm skin. Snow White is a really good example. Of course, working for Disney, I've got to bring out Snow White. But Snow White is a really good example of that. So she would use cool colors. So your cool colors would be like your blues and those really kind of cool, you could kind of wear brown, I guess, but those cool browns, those nice mauve colors, that sort of thing. That's when you think of really kind of cool colors. You have that blue base. So somebody with beautiful blonde hair, brown eyes, so blonde, warmth, sunshine, that warmth, and then their skin is really warm. They have 3 warms. So they have their eyes are brown, their hair is a nice golden blonde, and their skin, so they are definitely wear warm. Another person that could be cool, maybe their skin is really like very white, and they've got blonde hair and or black hair, let's say cool skin, they've got really black hair, or they have white hair. White hair is very cool hair. And then they have really like kind of brownish colored eyes. Well, their hair is cool, their skin is cool, and so that's 2 to 1 because their eye color was warm. So that's another good idea. If you have any questions at this point in time, I want you to write to me on Facebook. It can get a little confusing, 2 to 1. If you don't understand, please stop this video right now and write to me. Video is going to be here when you get back. Okay, so let's keep moving on. So we just did the 2 to 1. We recognized that my hair, because my hair is warm, my eyes are warm, and my skin is cool, that I'm going to be gearing more towards warm makeup. So the colors that I'm going to pick for me are going to be nice warm browns, about the same color as my eye color. The light, you see everybody, the very light color. I'm either going to use my natural skin color, little trick, and I'm going to actually use, or I'm going to use a very, very light, kind of creamy. So white is for cool, cream is for warm. Okay? Great. Alright, so some of the brushes that I use, and mine are pretty worn out, and I hope you can see them. These really don't look like makeup brushes, do they? They look like makeup brushes? No. The reason why they don't look like makeup brushes, oh, I should add another makeup brush, my finger. You'll see that a lot. I'm going to teach you some tricks if you don't have these right now. These are actually, you just get at any AC Moore, any craft store, Michael's, anywhere you can think of to pick up just regular, you kind of want ceramic brushes. So you want a nice hard bristle. And these I have actually cut to have them work for me. So you literally take them with the scissors. The shorter you make them, so if you can see this is very, very short. I cut it off at the top. You just have this little, the firmer that you have, the more control you have. The longer you have, the less control, but you'll make nice fine lines. This one's probably my favorite, and I'll tell you why, because it's very easy. It's long and it's thin, if you can see it. And I just took long and thin and I just kind of rounded it, and this actually works beautifully for just about everything. Our brush is important. Kind of, yeah. The most important thing that you can use, especially when you're in a hurry, is going to end up being your finger. So, and I will teach you different ways. And I know you've heard over and over and over again, never use your finger when you're applying makeup because it just wears off in the oils. And I don't know if you've heard that, but in some instances you're right. If we were doing a photo shoot, we were doing TV, we were doing something like that, you're absolutely correct. Your makeup would just wear off. It just wouldn't work. Or do you have to put it on at the later part of the day? Absolutely. But you know what? You're trying to be quick, you're trying to be fast, and a lot of people's workday ends at 5 o'clock, and so the makeup's all going to come off anyway. And why is that, you ask? The reason being is because your skin sloughs off anywhere from about 3 to 5 hours, no matter what. So that's why your skin can be nice and dry, and then people that have really oily skin, they feel like a grease pit in the later part of the afternoon. And it's because their skin is all sloughed off. So it doesn't matter what, your makeup's going to do its thing anyway. So for efficiency, I would say, if you don't have anything, I've done it many times, use your finger, and I'll show you some techniques about that. So that's about brushes. So the other piece I want to talk about in this particular video is going to be application. And we're going to use my face as a template, but actually, again, stop this video if you have any questions about brushes. I want to give you the opportunity. So just stop the video, and here on Facebook, just ask me whatever questions you need to ask me. Okay. Alright, we're back. And so we're going to just keep going on. So application. So if you notice, my skin, through postpartum weight, I've got a little bit more of a gel down here. But if you can see, I'm pretty much an oval. So when it comes back in history of people wearing makeup and what's the ideal look, we go back into Caesar's time. And in Caesar's time, the ideal face shape is oval face shape, deer but slanted eyes, and top and bottom lip fairly even. And that's, no matter who you are, that's the kind of look that we're always going to go for. So when it comes to from application, you just need to kind of, we'll figure it out through that. So kind of look to see what kind of face shape you have, and we'll kind of gear towards that. Now the first place I want you to kind of look is going to end up being your eyebrows. Your eyebrows want to go from the edge of your nose straight up. If you don't have your eyebrows waxed, or you're not plucking them, I would probably encourage you to do that before you even feel like you need any makeup. And that's because if your eyebrows are waxed and that sort of thing, it naturally will brighten up your eye, and it's kind of a nice natural way of not applying makeup. But apply makeup, and if that's something you don't feel comfortable with, don't do it. Don't do it. But for those people that do feel comfortable tweezing or waxing, it is a nice kind of eye lift per se. So if you notice, you want to go from the top of your nose straight up and clear from here to the center of your nose, and then you want to go hit the brow bone, and from the center of the eye, from your nose, I'm so sorry, I should say that, sorry, mummy brain, say it a little bit different. So from the tip of your nose, you want to go to the middle of your pupil, and that will make where your arch is. So go from a fairly thick, kind of let it go to an arch, and then you taper it off at the end, and it should hit the end of your eye. So you should make a perfect line from here. Those are perfect eyebrows. Same thing. You go from here, pupil to tip. Okay? So that's how that goes. Now when it comes to shading, there's some people's eyes that they have a lot of lid. I actually don't have a lot of lid. I have about the right amount of lid. And then if you look, my brow bone sticks way out, and it kind of makes my eyes kind of go in a little bit. So I actually am going to teach you, same thing with lips. Some people's lips, can be kind of small on the top and large at the bottom. So I'm going to give you a couple techniques on how to shade. So when you're applying makeup in general, it's to enhance what you have and to kind of shrink what you don't. You know, what you need to hide, so to speak. So when it comes to my eyes, let's focus on my eyes. When it comes to my eyes, some things that I really want to shrink or to make small or to push back is going to be this brow bone. Because watch, even I take my fingers and look how much more noticeable my eye is versus the other one. You see that? My eye just kind of pops right out. So think of a ship in a painting. If you want the ship to, in this painting, to really be big and have the ocean in the back, you do what to the ship? You make it light and bright and big, right? And then you put the ocean in the back. If you want the ship to look like it's in the back and the ocean in the front, you make the ship dark and the ocean bright. So think of, that's what you want to do. Things that you want it to pop out, like a lot of people want their cheekbones to pop out, you put light. You want the jowl to disappear, you put dark. I want this to go away, so I'm going to put dark on it, and I want this to pop out, so you put light on it. Does that make sense to everybody? Stop the video, ask me any questions. Okay, so let's kind of move on. So that's how we end up shading, and you can end up doing through the whole face. It's really, really easy. You can do it. I probably would recommend if you're like, okay, my skin is very dry, kind of dehydrated, just use 2 different types of foundation. If your skin's very dry, very oily, and really like you need a powder, then use 2 different types of powder. Don't make it complicated. You're not going to be on TV. You're not going to this professional photo shoot. This is everyday makeup. Okay? So that is video number 1 for Mastering the Mommy Makeover. So the things that we went over moisturizer, and what kind of moisturizer. We went over different types of foundation and which one that you would use. We went to what colors to wear and what brushes that you might need. And then we went over shading. So we went over 5 different points. If you have any questions, this is the time to really kind of go through everything. I will be online for you, and I'll be answering anything that you need answered for you here on Facebook. So once I feel like everybody has watched this video, we will proceed to the second video. Okay, thanks everybody. Alright, I'll see you in just a few minutes.